Hey guys, Krista Jones here from Davey and Krista, and in this tutorial, I'm going to dive into how to connect Shopify with Showit. While it's not my favorite way to build an online store with Showit, I'll talk more about that in a minute. It is possible to create really simple Shopify buy now buttons that you can then embed on your Showit site so that you have total control over the way your pages look, which is pretty different than a typical Shopify storefront where you really have to be into code in order to customize it to look exactly the way you want it. So this season, Davey is coaching our local high school lacrosse team, and as a fundraiser for the team, I put together a lot of different gear with a fresh logo, and I put together this simple store. And I would usually use WooCommerce, but for this store, it's only going to be up for a short amount of time. And I also wanted the parents who are running the store for me and doing all the printing and the distribution to be able to easily access the site. And I thought that doing Shopify would be easier for them to use than WooCommerce. So right now I have, I don't know, a dozen, maybe a little bit less products in this store. And that's probably the most that I would ever do for a store if we're bringing in buy buttons from Shopify, because we have to manually create each one of these products and it gets a little tedious to update. I'll show you how to do that in a second though. Within each of these products, if we click in, it's going to go to its own page, and I can select the color, and then I can select a size, and I can click on add to cart, and it's going to create this cart for me. And then if I hit checkout, it would take me over to Shopify to actually do the cart checkout. And then from there, the parents who are running this can manage all of the orders and see how many people ordered this tan hat, how many people ordered a blue extra small shirt, and so on. Within Shopify itself, you're going to be working mainly in the products area. And so you can see that I have all of these products already added. And this is a product that's already open and it's already been created. So I gave it a title, I gave it a description, I uploaded some images. We could use categories. It's not super relevant for this because all of the products are going to be housed over in Showit. So there's no way to actually navigate around Shopify. But if you did have a lot of products and you wanted to keep them organized, you could do that here. I added different colors, I added the pricing, and so forth. And I'm going to show you how to make one now. So if we go over to our products, I'm going to click on add product and let's give it a title. So Lex short sleeve t-shirt. I could add my description here. So add your description. And that's not actually super relevant unless you're doing this Shopify store as a Shopify store and not embedding them on Showit. All of the descriptions I added over in Showit, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But for just my personal organization, it was helpful for me to keep the descriptions here so that I didn't have to go back and forth between the pages, and I made sure that I had the right descriptions in my Showit site. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my images. So I'm going to click on Upload New. And I have a lot of different gear images. I'm just going to select 2 right now, and I'm going to click on open. And it's already putting it in a category of t-shirts. And once those load, I'll come down for my pricing. So I'm going to charge $25 for these t-shirts. I know, for example, that it costs me about $20 to print them, and it's going to give me my profit margin on this product. So if you're actually doing this for sales for your own shop, pretty cool how it can calculate that. I am not going to have it track the quantity because we're going to do these per order. I don't have like 10 to sell. So I'm not going to track the quantity. This is a physical product. If I was doing shipping, I'd want to include all of these details, maybe even customs if you're doing international. I'm not going to go into that because that doesn't apply to our store. But if you are doing shipping, there are a ton of different Shopify shipping tutorials out there that can help you set that up because it can be a little bit tedious. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our variants. So I'm going to add my colors. We have a black option and a white, and it's pretty good about picking up the colors just based off of the images that I've uploaded it. And then I'm going to add my sizes. So we'll add size, and then we give it our sizes. So let's say that this is available in these sizes, an extra small through and a 3XL. I'm going to click on done. And so it's going to populate everything in here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is click on save. And then once it has saved, I can come up to embed on a website. If you haven't previously added that buy button, you'll want to do that now. If you go to add apps, search for Shopify buy button. It's the buy button that is actually created by Shopify. That's how you know that's the right one. It's going to be free to add and free to use, and it's going to let you create buy buttons. So let me actually take you guys down here, because if I show you it this way, there's a little more control that we get. So once you've added that plugin, you'll see the buy button down here, and we can click on create a buy button. So I'm going to do a product buy button. I'm going to click on one of my products and click on save. And then I can select how I want this to look. So I think it's more simple to do a basic add to cart. You could also do a button that just takes people right to the cart checkout. I figured for this kind of store, people might be adding multiple products in multiple sizes. So that's why I did add product to cart. And then my layout is going to be the basic one. You could also do classic, which puts in an image. I have the images in Showit, so I felt like that was a little too much. So I think that what you could also do, and then another option that you could do would be this full view, and you could just take this whole thing, embed it in Showit. I'll show you how to do this in a second. And this would mean less design. It also means less control, so you're going to be limited to the fonts and the layouts that are pre-done in Shopify. But if you really wanted to keep this like quick and simple, this is an option. For my design, I went with a basic view. And then I controlled the style here. I put in our blue. I adjusted some of the settings. I didn't want it to have rounded corners because all of the buttons that I'm using in my design have square corners. I chose a font, and then I chose the size as well. You could also play with the layout too if you wanted everything to be left aligned. And if there are any variant colors, you could have those pop in here. So not a ton of options that you can do, not as many as if you were doing this fully in Shopify or if you were connecting WooCommerce to Showit and WordPress. But if you want a quick way to get a store up, this is a good option. We can also control the way that our cart looks when it opens up. So we can give it a title, we can give it a subtitle, we can add additional information if we need to add like order notes. You can add a space for them to add additional order notes. So like if they need to specify custom things, or if you're doing gift options, that can be a great thing to do. And then we can also control the colors as well. And then once we've designed our cart button the way that we want it to look, I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to copy this code, and then I'm going to come over to Showit. And so what I did here was let me make this a little bit bigger. I created a different page, and I added different product images, and I added in my title and my prices. So to do this from scratch, I can add a page in Showit. So let's do a blank page. And I can add in a product image. So I'm going to add this sweatshirt picture. I'm going to make it bigger and adjust it on the size. While I have this embedded code on my paste, I'm going to actually add that now just so I don't forget. So I'm going to come down here to embed code, and I'm going to paste in my button code right here, and then I'm going to click on save. And then I could also add in my product title and add in the title. I can add a paragraph to add in my description, and then I can go through the process of formatting all of these different items. I'm not going to walk you through all of that right now because I think that it's pretty straightforward, but let me walk you through one of these products and the way that I set it up so that the images flip. So this is a completed product, and the way that I get the images to flip as you click on each one of these is I have them housed in the different views. So I made 3 small images over on the side, and if we click on each one of these products, you can see that it's going to go to a different view. This one is going to view 1, this one is going to go to view 2, and this one is going to go, and then this one is going to go to view 3. And then within each one of these views, I have a different image in here. So view 1 houses the gray version, view 2 houses the white version, and view 3 houses the black version. And so if we click on preview and we come over and we test the way that it looks, they will flip between the different sweatshirts and they'll go back and forth. And then I can use the add to cart buttons to get them actually added into my cart. These are pretty straightforward images. It doesn't give you the ability to make them bigger or zoom in, and it probably wouldn't be wise to add too many images in here because it's going to get difficult to navigate. If you wanted to add a lot of different variants of images and have the ability to zoom in or out, again, I would go with WooCommerce for that. But for a simple, quick shop, I think that this works well. So within my store, I created a page for every single one of my products. And then I linked to all of them on my shop page. And so to create each of these product listings, I added a new canvas and I added in the links and the images for each product. And then I selected all of the elements within that product listing and I did a click action that goes to that specific page. So if I click away from that and I click here, you can see that it's going to the Wildcat Lacrosse logo tee. The trick with this one is that it's not actually going to be a smart filter. I would have to manually create different category pages with all of the just different products. So if I wanted to have a link to the youth category, I'd create a page that looks like the shop page. So we could do something like this, duplicate, name it shop youth. And then within here, I would remove all of the products that are not youth. So I think I have them all housed quickly, so I should be able to do this fast. So those are not youth products. Those are not youth products, but here are my youth products. Let's see. That one is not youth. And then this is not youth. And I found that it's a little bit easier to add your products in each row of products as a different canvas. It can result in less shuffling if you need to add new products and you wanted to add those new products at the very, very top. The thing about a shop like this, unlike WooCommerce, is as you add new products, you'll have to manually come in and add them to your shop page and rearrange them and order them, which is why it gets really tedious if you're doing multiple, which is why it gets really tedious if you have a big store. Our store has about 50 products right now, and so we have combined Showit with WordPress and WooCommerce to really make it easier for us to manage. But again, quick store, we could do something like this. And so then I would come over to my listing right here with the different categories, and I would select the youth one, and I would take it to the page that is for the youth. And so then if I'm on the shop page and I click on that, it will take me to that category page with all of the youth products. Okay, I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions about Shopify plus Showit, drop them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer. And if you liked this video and you want to receive more from us, make sure that you hit like and subscribe to get updates about all the future design and Showit tutorials that we release.